One spot, the other school plays Michigan. Number 5, heartbroken. Who's number 4?
That audio courtesy of ESPN as Michigan's watch party as they found out their fate in the Final Four of the NCAA men's college football season. The Michigan Wolverines will take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. It will be the Texas Longhorns versus the Washington Huskies on the other side. Florida State, undefeated, finds a way, or was screwed into the 5-6 matchup against the Georgia Bulldogs. We are here breaking down an unbelievable selection Sunday of college football here on the Sports Cubicle. It's Paul Chivari, I'm Mike Mercado, and I thought this was great audio because, full disclosure, I didn't go to college. I went to a trade school for broadcasting and did only one semester of community college, so I am a nomad when it comes to college sports. I root for the U of I men's basketball team. I love the Northwestern.
I root for the U of I
you
men's
more,
basketball.
yeah, no, you're an actual fan.
Well, can you tell me about their last game?
Kendall Gill led the
No, man, no.
Against Florida International. I saw that game.
Florida,
They won.
Atlantic,
yeah.
Which was a ranked team.
In Madison Square Garden.
And then Damask goes off for 33 and Terrence Shannon, which, I mean, amazing win. But yeah, no, man, I watch Illini basketball.
You are an Illini basketball fan.
Yeah.
I root for the University of Illinois men's basketball team. Same thing with Northwestern, DePaul, Loyola. Like, I love the local teams, right? But I am a fan, especially for big-time college football. I am a fan of the Texas Longhorns, the Michigan Wolverines, and the Miami Hurricanes. Those are the three teams I grew up loving.
I have no dog in the college football fight. You know, it's like I'll root Notre Dame, I'll root Florida, I'll root for any Illinois team, but I really don't care about any football until January.
And I care about that the fans care. I care about the atmosphere. I love the rivalries. I love the history.
Well, yeah, if it's still whatever's left, whatever traditions are left.
Well, here's the one thing, here's the thing, right? Michigan, Ohio State can play in the SEC, Big 12, Big 10, the American Association League of Comcast. As long as one is in navy and yellow and the other one is scarlet and silver, they're going to go at it. You know what I mean? Like, that rivalry doesn't change. Just like in NBA. It doesn't matter if it's the Eastern Conference, Western Conference. If it's the Lakers and Celtics, the rivalry exists. Yankees, Red Sox can play in the National League. It doesn't matter. Those traditions never leave, which is why I think college football is so dope. It's why a game between LSU and Florida that doesn't matter matters. It's why Iowa versus Iowa State really doesn't matter matters, you know? And it's why this is kind of a shame. You play your schedule, and you're supposed to be rewarded on your merits. Florida State did everything they were supposed to do.
Undefeated.
And granted, yeah, they lost two of their quarterbacks, and they will get mollywopped by any of these other teams that made the playoffs. And Georgia is going to steamroll them.
And maybe there's always, like,
of course, things happen, right? Football.
Yeah.
But point being, I understand if this was a scripted thing. If this was the WWE and we're like, you know what, this team is just not hot right now. The main event should be this, this, and this. This is real sports where your results should matter. And the fact that they didn't make in the Final Four is something so crazy. I love the controversy. I love the heatedness. I love that it's a story. But for those kids, for those athletes, for that fan base, yeah, they got jobbed out. They got jobbed out. Am I glad that we get to see Nick Saban versus Jim Harbaugh? That we get to see legacies? All in on it. But yeah, I'm not blinded to the fact that the Florida State Seminoles got Montreal's screw job for all you wrestling fans on this one.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I could understand maybe with Central Florida because a lot, you know, it's a weaker schedule, but this is an ACC schedule. And who are their non-conference opponents? I know one of them was Florida.
Right.
You know, so I mean, it's, you know, what else? What does a team have to do? And this basically everything looks like it's gearing up to just basically be whoever the SEC champion is should play the Big Ten champion every year, and that should be the championship. Why even have 4 teams? Why have 8 teams? Why have 12, 16, whatever? Just make it 2 teams and make it those 2 conferences. or go into relegation style play, or go to a 16-team tournament and just make sure every team is in there that needs to be in.
You just hit on it. This is the fault of having just two teams.
Why is basketball so popular?
Yeah,
It's because of an insane tournament. And honestly, you could expand the NCAA men's basketball tournament to 128 teams, and I think it'll still be awesome.
Yeah, and it could start in February, and we'll also be all in. Yeah, we'll call it in March Madness. I do think that Alabama's strength of schedule and what they did after the Texas loss is commendable, and I understand it. But yeah, I think this is more just another way of college football constantly getting in its own way, stepping on its own foot, while also winning at the same time. Because at the end of the day, you still get Michigan and Alabama, and then on the other side, your Pacific Northwest, now that the Pac-12 is gone, so like that representation.
Two guys that can't even get into these universities that don't spend a lot of time talking about college football or wasting time talking about it.
And then obviously the Longhorns with the Manning boy, who's not even the starting quarterback there.
Yep.
So shout out to them. I know a bunch of my family down in Austin are loving this right now.
Arch is a freshman already?
I know, dude. I know. He's going to be starting next season more than likely, I think. So he got into a game this season, but it's been a crazy season.
I mean, I don't follow football as much, but I know in the baseball world, it's like it's everybody's kids that are playing now.
Oh, yeah,
like,
no, we're at that pit. We're at that
Matt
point.
Holliday's kid is like tearing it up. Andrew Jones Jr. It's the world we live in. I know it's always going to be the case in athletes and whatnot, but yeah, I feel old. Ken Griffey Jr. is now retired and taking pictures at football games, so that's what the world's come to.
Well, we want to know what you think the world has come to, as we have finally seen what the college football world has all come together.
Toss
in the
out
final.
Texas and add Florida State. That's my verdict on it.
What about Georgia, though? Like, this is why it shouldn't be 4 teams. This is why college football deserves what they get for it being 4
Florida
teams.
State over Georgia, Alabama over Georgia, Washington over all of them, Michigan over all of them. If you're not going to put Florida State in, then you got to put Georgia in. It should have been Georgia over Texas. Texas is the one that's one of these things is not like the other.
I think. And what's funny is
it's because that lost to Oklahoma, even though Oklahoma's a really good team.
And it's going to end up being Texas, Alabama in the national championship game.
Which would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it's not like, was it like 2009 or something like that?
That was a different time. Cole McCoy's not out there going to get smacked around.
Mark Ingram, I think.
These are different times now. So.
See, and I hate that I know that.
Those were some good games.
I watched that.
Yeah, because you end up watching all of them in Sunday. Because they all end up just playing on Sunday night football after playing college football.
Florida State has Georgia, right?
Yeah.
And
Georgia's going to run through them.
Yeah, and hopefully they both show up, and it's it's in Miami, so maybe some advantage, even though they're both Southern teams. But like, it should match up well. It should be a good team. It's obviously for nothing. But
both need to win, though.
Both want to win and both want to win that trophy, and it's like it should be. Well, if they're not in the playoff, this should be a good matchup anyway.
It's kind of. I think this is a screw you game to the rest of people. It's like, one of these teams is going to. If not both, we're going to play like you.
It's going to be Georgia. They're going to mop the floor with Florida State, and then it's going to call into question Georgia and Alabama on a neutral field again. Would have it been, and not at the Georgia Dome? Maybe play it at where is the championship this year? It's
I forgot Pasadena.
Is it?
No, it's in Texas.
Texas.
I think the first game's in Pasadena. Number 1 Michigan will take on number 4 Alabama at the Rose Bowl, so that's Pasadena.
Okay.
And then that night game on January 1st will be number 2 Washington versus number 3 Texas in the Sugar Bowl, New Orleans, and that will be the nightcap. The national championship game will be in Houston, Texas at 7:30 p.m. on January 8th. So we will find out how we all shake out this. We want to know your thoughts.
Alabama will hoist the trophy over Washington or Texas.
Yeah, more than likely. God. Shout out to Jim Harbaugh, too, for getting the bag and using the NFL once again. We want to know your thoughts. We're on Twitter at Sports Cubicle TV. He's Paul Chivari. I'm Mike Mercado.